Yes. Now, tipping point normally indicates a downward motion, but I think the tipping point for Hamilton is that we've crested and we're on our way up. With the development that we see with the condos, with the infrastructure that's going into the hospitals on the mountain and downtown in the core, and all the private investment going in, I mean, there's only one direction for Hamilton to go. And you know what? I like to see Hamiltonians get on board and invest in the downtown core, especially before we see people from other cities come in and start soaking up and buying all these properties and driving the prices up beyond our reach. So, yeah, I think Hamilton's hit a tipping point.
I mean, I don't know if we're quite there yet. I think we are definitely getting really close. I think, I've been in Hamilton for 10 years now, and I've seen a lot of change even in that time. And I think that, the citizenry is so engaged in a lot of different issues. We're in a perfect position geographically speaking, our population size to really be innovative and bold in social policy, social programs. And so I think we're doing really well on a lot of fronts, but I think we really need to keep pushing, keep moving forward. I think
the city's poised to do something special, but it's slow. It's slow in coming. The older you get, the longer it seems to be taking. However, we're waiting and we're very hopeful, really. We go away for 4 months in the winter. When we come back, we often see changes.
I believe it has improved a lot. Downtown, they changed a lot of things, right? In Jackson Square, they built new stores. They're adapting to the growth of the population, I guess.
I think it's getting close. I think there's a lot we can still do to get better, but certainly the momentum that's been building in the last year has been exciting and encouraging. So we're getting there. I think we're not quite there yet, but on our way.
Economically, sure, yes. The waterfront development is just starting off. It's taken a long time, but now it's here. But if we want to talk about, culturally, probably not.
If you're talking about the real estate market, I think it certainly has reached a tipping point. We've seen the price gradient from Toronto move its way into downtown Hamilton. If it's about making that city livable for all Hamiltonians, I don't think we're at that tipping point. We aren't talking about how to make that growth inclusive. We aren't talking about how we get wages up so that the service economy around that isn't a servile economy. So I think that's where we're at.
Oh, I absolutely believe Hamilton's reached the tipping point. One of my favorite expressions about Hamilton, actually my daughter coined it, and she calls Hamilton the heart of steel. And I think even though we're sort of moving away from our traditional, manufacturing base, we still have a community of heart. And what I think is especially exciting is that we've really embraced in Hamilton the heart of the artists. So the fact that we recognize what artists bring to our community, we're supporting artists, musicians, I think that's evidence of a community that has come into its own and realizes that we're more than just one thing. We're just more than, there's many ways to define what's success in our community.
Being the councillor for Ward 2, downtown Hamilton, I think there's a lot of obvious indicators. We keep hearing about the cranes and the over $200 million in private investment. We learned just recently at a General Issues Committee meeting that that's translating over 4 or 5 years now to $3 million annually in increased taxes coming into the city coffers. And so that benefits obviously not only downtown but the city as a whole. There's extraordinary things happening, very positive, a lot of it organic that we credit particularly the arts community too, people that are now wanting to come here from all over the place and be part of this very exciting transformation, this revitalization of this wonderful city that I've always loved, but even more so now.
I think Hamilton is deteriorating, lost lots of jobs, people are unemployed, and the streets are filthy.
I think that Hamilton is at the height of its potential. We have so many things going for us. Certainly our geographic location, our nearness to Toronto, our nearness to the United States, the fact that we have a harbor, our low housing prices. So many Torontonians are moving into the city right now, and a lot of young entrepreneurs. I think that there's a lot of excitement. Even our art scene is really taking off right now. That said, I do have to question, is this to the benefit of everyone? When we see a rising tide, are all boats rising or just the yachts of a few?
I want to say yes, but I want to say yes, but, or yes with an asterisk. Yes, I think Hamilton has reached a tipping point. in terms of the development, the level of engagement from the citizens. I mean, the awards, the accolades, everything. The people moving here, whether it's from Toronto or anywhere else. Just the economy. So yes, I do think we have reached a tipping point. I mean, I moved from Toronto 5 years ago, and even in the 5 years that I've been living in Hamilton, the changes and it's staggering. It really is. So I think that's exciting. I think we're kind of on the verge. So yes, we have, but
I see more people coming from Toronto to live here. I have small business and I have a lot of clients who they come from Toronto and they love the town.
I see great things happening. I've grown up in this city and I've seen the best of times and I think I've seen the worst of times, and we're well past the worst of times. There's so much confidence now and movement in the city in so many places. But then I look at the challenges and I go, no, we're not quite there yet. When we address the challenges of an infrastructure debt and when we address the challenge of a monetary debt that the City of Hamilton is carrying right now, when we address the issue of how do we want to transport people in this city, be it LRT going east-west, north-south, be it Aerotropolis, when we address all of those things, oh yeah, I see a terrific future. But are we there? Not quite yet.
Yeah, I absolutely think Hamilton's reached a tipping point. I think we're seeing a really good cultural scene develop in Hamilton, not just with the emergent art in the James Street art crawl, but we're developing a really good food scene, a lot of really fantastic restaurants attracting really interesting people here. I think as a young person living in Hamilton, there's no shortage of choices for places to eat and different things to try, and I think it's really highlighting the diversity of our city.
Hamilton has definitely reached the tipping point. I've been a part of this community for about 11 years. And on the side of being the eternal optimist, I've often thought that we're turning a corner each and every year. But there's just too much happening in downtown Hamilton, downtown in particular. And I think in so many ways we are definitely turning a corner.
Hamilton's certainly approaching a tipping point. A lot of the pieces are in place. Hamilton was named one of the best places to invest in Canada. Hamilton's a place that knows itself, knows its politics, loves itself, loves its economy, loves its businesses, loves its Tiger Cats, loves its Tim Hortons. Hamiltonians know the city and love it. And once that's in place, there's nothing but great possibilities for the future.
I honestly don't think that it's reached its tipping point just yet. I think that there's still a lot of work to do. What I would love to see is for the city, all the individuals involved, from politicians to business owners, to be able to cultivate optimism. There's not enough optimism in the city.
I feel the city now is much more sure of itself, and it's almost, we're going to do it. It might take us a while now, but it's going to get done. I moved here in 91, and it seemed like everything was such a major issue, including, and we needed the Red Hill. We need these things, and there's just an enthusiasm now. And now, on the other hand, I don't want too many people from Toronto to know about all my walking trails that are here and the beautiful harbor. I don't want it to get too crowded. But seriously, people, it's a real gem, the city that we have here.
I think that, in all honesty, things in Hamilton are looking up, moving forward. As far as tipping points go, there are some tipping points that are of concern with regards to student population in the area of the Ainslie-Wood-Westdale area, so that's a concern. But I think from an economic point of view, I think things are moving forward.
I came here since last year, so in comparison with last year, it has changed a little bit. Economically, yes, and by look-wise, by appearance, definitely yes. They have doing a lot of recreational activities in the downtown, which I really like.
Wonderful. Absolutely. I was born in Hamilton and I've lived here most of my life, and the changes that I'm seeing today are so exciting. I think Hamilton is becoming an extremely diverse community, I think we have a ways to go in terms of ensuring that we have full inclusion, particularly at decision-making tables. But I'm pretty excited about the arts community and about the growth and the development that's happening in our community. And I can't wait to see what we do next.
I don't actually feel that Hamilton is at its tipping point because I don't feel that the support system is there to truly support artists. I think that as an artist, you don't have the business mind, you don't have the political mind, you don't understand the red tape. I come from an artistic family. Both my parents are very artistic people, and I've tried to figure out as a young entrepreneur how to support my business, which is an artist management event production business, and it's difficult. I think that it's still the big guys that are getting the support, and if we want to see this truly become our tipping point and truly change the city for the better, that we need to create a system that works for artists.
I don't go downtown anymore because of the congestion down there because of the two-way conversion. So now I just go to the mall. Easier.
Recently, in the past 8 months or so, I think it's gone in the right direction. I mean, there seems to be more activity, seems to be more, downtown seems to be more vibrant.
I don't believe it has. You know, I've lived in Hamilton for about 20 years now. I've seen a tremendous amount of growth. In fact, I was out of the city for the last 3 days, and I overheard a bunch of people talking about Hamilton and how much, you know, things are happening there, and it's exciting, and things are happening downtown with the arts and with the music, and it felt so good to be overhearing people talking about Hamilton like that. And so I think that we've really come a long way, and I think we're on the cusp of really making some great change, but I don't think we're quite there yet.
I think Hamilton is tipping for the good. I think we've always had it, but we just, you know, we've had some hard times as a city, and I think that now we've got confidence going through the hard times that we're really tipping for the wonderfully good. The Ticats made it in the Grey Cup. We have a grocery store in downtown Hamilton. There's a lot of things we've done first before any other city, and I think we're starting to have more confidence and recognize that we are tipping.
I think the reputation of the city is changing. I have a friend that lives in Hamilton. She loves it and is always talking about how amazing her neighborhood is.
I think from the business and employment point of view, we're doing well. I think the council could do better. As I said, I lived in the West Mountain, and the overrun on the Queen Street Hill was not very competent.
I think we're a very safe community. We're a very caring community. We're a community that's changing in a sense. We're moving from, you know, steel into health, and steel is still very important, but Hamilton Health Sciences is doing a phenomenal job. It's attracting a lot of great minds and a lot of new jobs to the city. Real estate in Hamilton is still a good buy, and the people of Toronto are suddenly trying to realize that this is a good thing, and so they're coming into Hamilton, which is going to grow our tax base and grow our community. So I think there's a lot of great things going on in Hamilton. So when people say, have we reached a tipping point, I'm one of those who thinks actually we're beyond it now.
Yeah, the spirit's different in Hamilton now, of course, with Ivor Wind being almost getting to the point where it's almost done by June. It's looking good.
I don't think there is one point in which a city passes. I think it's more organic, it's gradual, and I think Hamilton's evolution will be slow, and there won't be one tipping point.